Listen, fellas, if you want to take control of your finances, if you want to turn your financial life around and bring abundance into your life, not into just your life, but your family's life, into your household and everybody that surrounds you, then it's going to take some mental changes. And I'm going to tell you what changes you need to make in this video. But before we begin, how are we doing, fellas? Welcome back to another video on the Evolve to Manhood channel. I know this has been a long awaited one. I've been trying to read up on the topic of financial literacy to make sure I have the wisdom to give to you guys, to make sure I'm not just talking and I'm giving you some true facts and some true wisdom you can take and apply to your life. So I'm grateful that I can finally make this video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and joining the Evolve to Manhood family, the brotherhood. And without further ado, without wasting any more time, we're getting right into today's video. Now for our daily affirmation, please repeat after me. I'm growing, I'm changing, and I'm evolving for God, for my goals, and for my legacy. Alright, if you participated, as always, I appreciate you, and let's get right into today's video. So listen, fellas, the first financial lesson that I received at the age of 9 wasn't even that much about money. It was about life. And my father taught me that nothing in life is free. It's an old cliche statement, it's an old cliche phrase, but there's a lot of truth in that. Nothing in life is free. Now, me being a kid, I didn't understand that, because if somebody were to hand me some money, I'd say, oh, that's free money. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. It has to be free, right? There's no strings attached. If they're putting it in my hand and I'm not paying anything back, then it's free. But the mistake that I was making as a kid that I no longer make today is that I didn't realize that just because a cost isn't financial, or just because the cost isn't money, does not mean that there's not a cost present. Now, I'm going to break that down for you right now. Just because the cost of a decision, of an outcome, of a gift, of whatever, isn't financial, just because you're not paying for it, does not mean that there is not a spiritual or a physical or a mental cost to what you're receiving. Now listen, you might be getting free food, free fast food from whatever place you go to, right? And you think it's free, but you're paying the cost in your body and in your health. You might be watching websites you shouldn't be watching as a man of God, as an evolved man. And they might act like they're free, they might say they're free, but guess what? You're damaging your spirit. You're paying spiritually. There's spiritual damage and spiritual turmoil. Just because you're not paying financially in money does not mean that that thing does not have a cost. And when you adapt that mindset, not just to your finances, but to everything in your life, every part of you will start to grow. You'll start getting into the gym because guess what? That's an investment now. See, and now you start to add the financial ideologies to every part of your life. Every move you make should be an investment into your future, into a better version of yourself. If not, you're taking away from yourself. You're spending, right? You're wasting. The most important resource we have is time, fellas, because you can't get time back. And I learned that the hard way, working a minimum wage job. You know what I'm saying? Making pennies. And I started to hate this job, not because of the workload, because I'm not afraid to do hard work. And not because of the staff. The staff is cool. But it's the ideology and the idea of me trading hours of my life for a fixed amount of money. That blatantly isn't enough. Trading hours of my youth, of the best years of my life supposedly, for a few dollars, man. Your time needs to be the most valuable thing you have, which means if you're going to make your time valuable with work, meaning you're not going to work every single day because you need to have some time to yourself, then you also need to make your time valuable when you have that free, unstructured time. You can't be spending time doing whatever, man. You can't be spending time watching things you shouldn't watch. You can't be spending time BSing in your room, on your phone, just wasting time, spending 6, 7, 8 hours on video games. If your time is really valuable like you say it is, then it has to have some sort of code, some sort of code of ethics, some sort of law about how you're going to spend your time in a day. You can't spend it doing a bunch of junk, doing a bunch of bull, bro. These are not just financial lessons I'm teaching you. These are life lessons. And listen, a great thing you can establish in your life right now to build your finances in the long run is to live below your means. And how is this a life lesson, Jeremiah? This is a life lesson because it's teaching you humility. You know, we always talk about humility on the channel. It's so important. James 4:10, humble yourself before the Lord and he will exalt you up in honor. You need to be humble, and sometimes that means living below your means. So guess what? If your income goes up, that doesn't mean your means and the way you live goes up as well. That doesn't mean you can spend a little bit more on food and housing and partying and fun. No, live below your means so that you have a steady income in your finances. You should never be spending up your entire check, man. Living check to check is often a choice. And that's not me being insensitive, because I know that there's people who are going through times where that's literally their only option. They have to live check to check. But if that's not you, if you really can evaluate and look at all the subscriptions you have, all the money you're spending on parlays or on BS you know you don't need, you need to cut those things out, bro. There's no way around it. There's no cheat code. There's no money that's going to fly out of the sky and just land in your wallet. No. One, you have to earn it, and two, you have to be responsible with it and manage it in a righteous way. You can't be spending your money on whatever. Just in the same way your time is valuable, your money is valuable. And it can't go to anything. Can't go to just anything, man. Number 3, and I've got 5 pillars for you guys. The third pillar is to educate yourself consistently. 2 great, amazing, outstanding finance books I can recommend to you right now are 1, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and 2, The Psychology of Money. Now, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is an amazing book. Pick it up today. It costs you like $6-7, but the wisdom you get from it is worth $6,000-7,000, $600,000-700,000, because the wisdom in this book is gonna make you that type of money just by you reading it cover to cover and analyzing it and interpreting it. Second book, The Psychology of Money. This book is amazing. Let me show you. Listen, there's no type of plug, there's no type of sponsors. I'm really giving you these books for free because I think that they're going to help you a lot in the long run. The Psychology of Money. This not only teaches you about how to manage your finances, but also how your mindset plays into investing and how you manage your money. Because your mind plays a huge role in the financial decisions you make. In fact, your mind plays all the difference. Your mind makes every single difference when it comes to how you're spending your money. Now, pillar number 4, I need you to realize that you don't need a reason to save money. You see, so many of us think we need a big financial goal for a vacation or for a car or for a house. No, you can save even if you don't have anything you're saving for specifically. Because saving gives you that buffer, it gives you that level of safety and security, because this life is unpredictable. And that's a fact. That's a guarantee. The only guarantee in this life is that there are no guarantees in this life, except for death and taxes. So I need you to prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. Even though on this channel we want to be optimistic, in our lives we want to be optimistic, bad things happen in life. Things we can't control, things we can't predict, things we can't prepare for. But we can prepare for them if we have that savings. Now, a good rule of thumb is to save 4 to 6 months of expenses. And that's going to give you that buffer, because if you lose your job, or if, life hits you hard, life starts lifing, you will have that buffer, you will have that protection. You can get back on your feet, find a new job, get your finances back in order. But I need you to save some money up. And if you don't have a strong source of income right now, you can find one. If it's snowing, start shoveling snow. If it's not, mow grass, rake leaves. There's always some type of physical labor you can do to make some money. When I was younger and I didn't have no job, that's what I did. I didn't make excuses and say, oh, I'm too tired, on my back. No, I did it. It felt uncomfortable. Nobody wants to go out and mow grass for 2 hours for $40, but I did it. I did it over and over and over because making that money was so important to me. I wanted to have some sort of independence from my parents. Although it wasn't much, I was making some type of money and learning how to budget and save. Final point I want to make to you is that wealth is what you don't see. Listen, wealth is not the flashy cars, the houses, the Rolex. That's not wealth. Wealth is being able to provide for your family when bad things happen. Wealth is having that security in your health insurance, knowing that if something happens to your health, you'll be okay. You'll have the best doctors available. Wealth is being able to donate to charities that desperately need funding to help other people around this world. That's wealth. You got to come to realize, bro, that you want this car, and the guy that's driving the car wants a better car. And the guy who has that better car wants a better car. And often, once you get that car, once you get that dream house or that dream job, people aren't looking at you. They're looking at your job and saying, oh, I want that too. But they don't even really care about you or how you got that or why you have that. They just want what you have, right? So having riches and having a lot of materialistic things does not give you fame or status or popularity. People don't look at you. They see right through you and they see what you have. Now, if that's really what you want, you can go for it. I'm warning you because the desire of wealth is often the ruin of many men. Don't get so hypnotized and so lustful over money. You see, a lot of us forget lust is not just sexual. Lust is not just relationship-wise. You can lust over materials, and a lot of men lust over money. That's why they lose it all. You also got to think about the law of attraction, and we've talked about the law of attraction on the channel before. If you say you have something, you have it. If you say you don't, you don't. But if you desire something too much, that thing will often flee from you and run away from you and escape you. You know, the way I talk about my life, I say money will find me wherever I go. Abundance will find me wherever I go. Whatever situation I'm in, high or low, abundance will find me. And I'm so blessed to have that right now. Just because I have faith in God, that God will provide for me. And I have faith in my work. I work hard. Don't forget to work hard, fellas. That's part of evolving to manhood. But also be smart about how you're spending that bread, man. And then I'm going to add this on too, and then I'm going to wrap up the video because we're running long. You have to make sure your habits aren't just draining money from you, bro. If you're out here smoking all the time, that's money down the drain over and over and over. A horrible habit to have. Horrible. Man, if you get overtaken by gambling and you have a gambling problem, man, that's really bad. That's money gone, gone, gone. You might win once and then it's back gone, gone, gone. A big pillar of manhood is consistency. So let's focus on the most consistent parts of our income. Let's get a concrete job right now if we have to, man. We might have to go through a hard time where we got to do minimum wage. I know it sucks. I know it's unfortunate, but you might have that period. And it's going to teach you a lot about how to manage money. You know what I'm saying? What to do with the paycheck when you first get it. And the best advice I can give you out of everything I've said in this entire video is to always give to God first. Give God his 10% first. Because if we're being real, the entire paycheck, the entire 100% of what you make belongs to God because he gave it to you. It belongs to God. So show that respect by giving God his 10%. I have tithed for the last 13 months of my life. I've had a job for the last 12. And God has remained faithful to me throughout every single day that I've had my financial blessings. I've seen so much money come into my life that I probably wouldn't have seen if I was so greedy that I didn't tithe. And I'm not saying you should tithe solely to seek for a gain back, seek for a return, but I'm saying that tithing produces blessing because it shows God where your heart is at. It shows God that you love him enough that you're willing to give up the little that you do have to please him, to further his kingdom and his mission on this earth, which is bigger than your coffee or your meal. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're tithing. Put that at the forefront of your financial decisions. All right, to recap and review, man. Number 1, nothing in your life is free. Remember that. Hold on to that. Number 2, live below your means. That is a form of humility. Number 3, educate yourself consistently. Buy financial books. Read up on your financial literacy. Number 4, realize that you don't need a reason to save. You can save no matter what, and that's going to protect you when life doesn't go your way. And number 5, wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is in your character. Wealth is in your poise and your aura about you, man. Wealth is not just in what's in your pockets or what you flex and show people you have. Because honestly, most of the time, the people who show off so much money and so much wealth don't really have it. They just go broke making people think that they have it so that they can feel accepted and wanted and needed. Don't get in that mindset, brothers. Remember that if God's got you, you have all you need. There's nobody in this life you need to prove something to. Alright? Well, that's all I got for y'all, fellas. I hope this video helped you. I hope it resonated with you. I'm glad I could talk about this with y'all. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section. I want to make a part 2 to this video as well, talking a bit more about financial abundance. Nonetheless, leave a like on the video if it helped you. It's going to help boost the channel, help the channel grow. And I'll see you in the next video. Be safe and be blessed. Let's evolve to manhood.